Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a tier list of dubstep subgenres. Now, if you've seen the previous video, you know I love dubstep. I love everything to do with dubstep. Dubstep is like, mm, it is like peak music. It's like the only music I listen to most of the time. But we're ranking subgenres, or at least the most notable subgenres. There's a bunch of subgenres that people just make up, and I personally don't call those subgenres actual subgenres, but we're gonna rank the ones I do call subgenres, starting with brostep. Now, a little example here, so that you can kind of know what it sounds like. Yeah, so I love brostep. Great subgenre. It's got like a nice like heavy like feel to it. Like it just absolutely slaps. Um, I will say the sound design is really good. The drums are really good. The beats are really good. There's always something about bro step that's just like is really like nice and like it, it gets me where it's good, right? I think if I had to complain about one thing about bro step, it's the flow. I just really can't ever get behind the flow. I don't know. Like I'm a rhythm kid. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I am a rhythm kid. I like the quarter notes with like just the attack or the delay or whatever, just to give it that extra bounce. Um, I I don't know. Bro step slaps though. I'll put it in slaps. All right, next rhythm. Little example, so you can know what it sounds like. Yeah. So rhythm is like, again, rhythm kid. Love me some rhythm. It's repetitive, but in a way that just absolutely slaps. Like it's really really good. Um, like the drums, they just absolutely the drums do some really good like knockage. It knocks. Is that a good word? Is that like what people say when something sounds good? It knocks. Those drums, they knock. The bass just, you feel it, you know. It's the sound design is just really like rubbery and like metallic, and it's just, yeah. It's like having a hard time putting this into words. It's just really really good sounding. Like it, yeah, yeah. Look, not everyone could do rhythm the right way. Like I have some trouble making rhythm when I'm like making a beat and I try to make some rhythm. I have some trouble like getting it to sound like perfect. But if someone can do rhythm really good, it goes nasty. If you can master like the art of how to actually legitimately make rhythm, that stuff goes nasty. Like it's really good. Tear out. All right, we're gonna have a little listening. Yeah, so tear out is like tear out is like if you took rhythm and bro step and mushed them together and then fed them a bunch of steroids and crack. That's tear out. It's like, dude, I was researching this all online, like just researching, like looking for like pictures to put on here, and someone called tear out, what was it? Industrial industrial metal bass. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's just a funny thing that I found while looking for a picture of tear out, and then I wound up just going with a picture of Amorphic, which is that's a reasonable decision. Anyways, yeah, no, tear out is really really good. Um, again, it's one of those things where I can't always get behind the flow, but the flow I do get behind just mm, hits hard. I'm putting it hits hard. There's it's future rhythm. Let's do a little listening. Yeah, so as its name implies, future rhythm is essentially just rhythm, but like extra melodic. Like, okay, so like here's the thing with rhythm. Rhythm is based around a square wave that like it like is distorted and like has some phase and whatever. That's most rhythm. Most rhythm has like square wave with phase, distortion, whatever. Future rhythm, there's a lot of different ways to make it. You could do the go the rhythm route and just add a vocoder or whatever color-based plugin you want. Or what I like to do is I'll just make melodic bass, and I'll touch on that later. I'll make melodic bass, but then like chop it up into I'll chop it into a thing that sounds more rhythmy, which is the quarter notes and like the kick and clap drum snare thing. That's another thing with rhythm is rhythm always has like a kick and a clap or a snare and a clap layered as the snare, and it's all like layered together and it's really really nice. I love those kinds of snares. They just really really hit. But Future Rhythm does that, and that's the thing that I love, where it's like, or when I make Future Rhythm, I'll just do like melodic bass, but it's chopped up into quarter notes with that little delay for that extra bounce, um, and then with that layered snare, which is just so good. Most of the Future Rhythm that I listen to is just absolutely nasty. Like I love like I love that it's a euphoric melody, but it's got a groove to it. It's got that rhythm bounce grooviness to it that I just mm, I'll eat that stuff up. Goes nasty, elite, elite subgenre. All right, Wook slash freeform bass. Get a little listen here.
Check this out.
Not not my first choice. I'm gonna stop glazing the genres now. This is a genre that I genuinely just kind of don't care much for. Like it's there. Some of the sound design is really nice, but the flow again, it's the flow and the fact that it's very simplistic, it's very minimal. I like overproduced stuff. Now rhythm isn't ridiculously overproduced, but like rhythm sound design and composure just goes kind of hard. Whereas like freeform bass, I don't know. I don't really know what else to call it. It's Wook slash freeform bass. This is like the subtronic style. Like anyone who makes music that sounds remotely like subtronics. That's like a whole genre. I I don't really know like what the genre's called. I just call it Wook slash freeform because that's like the only thing I know how to call it. Um, like some of it sounds kind of nasty. Like it's okay, but like the mixing and the sound design and like that whole aspect, like the sound design is just one thing that I just don't really get behind. There's like one or two songs. I think it was um, I think it was Fracture and Gorilla T's remix of Pop Bottles. That one was really good. That's some Wook that I could get behind purely because of that like groovy, like nasty flow. Like the flow was really good. But really, I don't know. The rest of the genre, I don't know. It's just not for me, man. Like I can't really get behind it. And because of that, I'm putting it in nah, nah. Drum and bass. Okay, this is not technically dubstep. I should have titled this video. I probably should title this video as um, a bass music subgenres tier list because most of this is just bass music because that's pretty much all I listen to. But drum and bass, whew, peak. Yeah, no. Here's an example, by the way. Peak. Really depends on like some of the sound design and again the mixing because I got a friend who makes drum and bass and he's really really good, but every once in a while there will be some one track that it's just like it's not mixed incredibly well, but it's still listenable. um but yeah, no, drum and bass is really really good. um it's one of those things that's just you kind of have to be in the mood for. But like once I am in the mood for some drum and bass, like that stuff slaps. Like the bass is extra heavy, the fast beat, like it's like 174 something. That's like the gold standard for like drum and bass tempo. But like yeah, no, that it just sounds like really like it goes hard. It goes hard when I'm in the mood for it. So I'm just going to put it in slaps. That seems fair. Hybrid trap. Here's an example. Yeah, hybrid trap is one of those things where it's just like, again, it's the sound design. It's the sound design and the flow. That's really what does it for me. But like, here's the thing with hybrid trap. There's a lot of different flavors of hybrid trap. Like most of the modern stuff borrows from like tear out. A lot of the old stuff borrows from bro step. Really, hybrid trap is just any kind of dubstep with a trap beat over it. That's just what it seems like to me. Like someone in the comments is probably going to be really angry about this if I get any views. The last video I posted only got like one view in the first like 3 weeks, so I don't know. But like, yeah, no, hybrid trap just doesn't really it doesn't really have like a substantial foundation. It's just like bass music with a trap beat to it, which is really good. I love me some hybrid trap sometimes. It really depends on the flow. Like I've recently um been listening to what's it? Frantic. Now I've been a Frantic fan for a while. He's got some good stuff. But recently I've been listening to it was one of his more recent songs from the what was that EP? I don't know. But anyways, that stuff was good. Like that, like just legitimately, the sound design's there, the flow's there. I feel like it could be mixed just a slight bit better, but that's probably the best you could do with that kind of sound design. But it's just it sounds thin, but it also sounds like really like thick and like nasty and like just really good. Um, the snares they like always have that plinkage to it that just mm. um. But yeah, no, hybrid trap is really good. I'm I'm gonna put it in slaps. It's not quite hits. It doesn't quite hit as hard as Tear Out, but it's pretty good, and it doesn't really have a strong foundation, so it's like UK bass. I don't know what else to call this subgenre. It's like OG dubstep, but it's not like people call like subtronic stuff OG dubstep, but that's not exactly OG dubstep. That's like freeform type stuff. But UK bass is the OG dubstep. Like that's the stuff that came out of the UK. That's the stuff that inspired Skrillex to invent bro step. Essentially, that's yeah. No, it's like the new stuff is good. The old stuff I can't really get behind, but the new stuff is really good. I think the only UK based song that I like actively listen to is Swing King by was it Hamdi and Sesko? Like that one is really good. Like it's just got that fluttery, like the mixing is perfect. That is the most perfect mixing. One of the most perfect some of the most perfect mixing I've heard in a track. It's really good. It just hits really hard. I really wish that sometimes the flow doesn't really do it for me, but it's the sound design and the mixing that just mm, it's so good. It's really just a delicious sound. Other than that, the subgenre itself isn't particularly impressive most of the time. Like some, I don't know. Like that's one of the that song Swing King is like one of the few times where that genre has like really impressed me. But most of the time, it's just a sub on some drums and maybe some background vocals, and maybe the subs have like some special like sound design or whatever on it. But most of the time, it's just I don't know. It just doesn't really do it for me. Um, I'm just gonna put it in listenable. It's okay. It it's okay. Color bass. There's an example. Yeah, so color bass is like before Future Rhythm there was color bass. Like during I don't know when color bass started. It was like late 2010s, but like one of the leading pioneers in that genre at the time was Chime, who basically was just like, you know what? We have melodic EDM and we have heavy EDM. What if we combine the two and made just this like sparkle magic rainbow color cacophony? And that's what color bass is. And it's really good. It's fun. most of the time it's mixed really well. The sound design is mm, it's really really good. Um, I used to for the picture I'm using for the tier list here is Ace Aura because I love Ace Aura. He's like the goat. He's one of my favorite artists. Period. Not just color based artists. Like he's like one of my biggest inspirations is Ace Aura. Love the man. His music is great. Um, his DJing is pretty good. Um, but yeah, no, his take on the color based genre, it's like leaning slightly more into the heavy, and a large reason for that is because like I went back and listened to a lot of his older stuff, and a lot of it stems from bro step, and even some of that sound design doesn't have like a lot of extra melodicism on it. Like it's like bro step like sound design with just a little bit of color added, and that's one of the things I love about Ace Aura is just he leans a little more into the heavy, and that just makes it like really like nasty sounding, like just it's really really good. uh I don't care for all of color base because like again it's a flow thing where like sometimes the flow just kind of throws me off. Like I'm very picky about my flow. I'm very picky about my flow and my sound design. Mixing, I am kind of everyone's picky about mixing, but like I'm especially picky about flow and sound design. Um, I'm I'll put him in slaps. I have a lot of artists in slaps already, but I'll put him in slaps just because I feel like it. Um, he's really really good. Um, color base in general is just really really good. I like Sharks. I like Chime. I like Ace Aura. Kill and Void is whew. Okay, yeah, no, just for Kill and Void, I'm putting it in hits hard. Like, he's good. Um, Bass House, little example. Yeah, so Bass House is essentially like I can't say it's dubstep and house combined. It's it's a bunch of different stuff, but like, man, I don't know. It uses elements like older Bass House uses like elements of like older trap, which uses elements of bro step. But like modern bass house, you don't see a lot of bro step elements in there. I don't know. Bass house is kind of an enigma where it's like different people use different like sounds and like different sound design and like different like flows. It's really cool to me because of the amount of variety. Like there's some bass house that it just the flow just doesn't really do it for me, but there's some bass house that just mm, I could get down to. It's really really good. Um, but yeah, no, bass house slaps. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in slaps. It's like I don't really know what else to
Yeah,
do with
here's
it.
here's a little example.
Melodic bass, and of course I use a picture of Ilenium or Ilenium album artwork for the tier list because let's be honest, Ilenium is like the only like immediately recognizable um artist here. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones. I won't say Eilenium's the only one because there's a lot of people who are better than Eilenium, but Eilenium's like one of the most recognized. Like I like Wooly, I like Excision's melodic bass. Um, I don't know. It really depends on the artist. Really depends. Like melodic bass doesn't have like a lot of problems with flow because it's all like just sustained chords, sidechained, lead, mid bass, just like vocals. Of course, there's a lot of vocals in melodic bass. Um, for me, it's just the melody. I'm very picky about my melody when it comes to um, melodic bass. Just because like when I hear melodic bass, I want it to like invoke something like strong. And so I get picky about it, but normally it's got good flow. Oh, I will say sound design is kind of a thing where it's like the sound design of the lead or the chords or the mid bass or whatever. Like I can't take a mid bass that's too heavy, and I can't take a lead that's too like FME, if you know what I mean. Where like some artists will use like a lead in their melodic bass that just I don't know, it just sounds kind of like coarse. Like I just can't really get behind that. I like a nice, clear, crisp lead. I like a nice like I want it to be like heavy, but I want it to also be like really clear as far as like tonality on the mid bass. Like I like a heavy but very tonal mid bass, a crisp, clear lead. Um, you can do whatever chords you like. Like sometimes like the coarser chords sound really good. I know Murata doesn't do melodic bass, he does like tear out, so the opposite. But some of there's like one song, I think it was Rage Room, where the there's like chords and like a mid bass, and that I want to turn that into melodic bass so badly because of how just great it sounded. Like it's got to be either that kind of sound design when you're making melodic bass, or it's got to be like I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Oh, Over You by Wooly and I can't remember which other artist, but over that specific song, it's got to be either that kind of sound design or that one like guttural chord bass thing, breakdown thing from Rage Room by Murata, which is not melodic bass at all, but still, I want to see that kind of sound design in a melodic bass track, because that sounds like just a ton of fun. Someone please make that. But I'll put melodic bass in slaps. Most of these genres just slap. Um, Future bass. Yeah, I'm gonna be 100% honest. It's just melodic bass for babies. Like that's it. Didn't Future Bass come first, or am I tweaking? I don't know, but Future Bass is it's just melodic bass for babies. It's the chords are weaker, the sound design, everything's weaker. Maybe a little bit of trap influence, a little more trap influence than melodic bass. Where melodic bass, they call it melodic dubstep because it's basically just super saws and a dubstep drums most of the time. There's some outliers that are really good, but Future Bass has a little more leans a little more into the trap side of things. Um, nah, Future Bass just isn't for me. Here's a little example, by the way. Yeah, no, I can't do Future Bass. Drum step. Okay, this is the last one on here, I think. Drum step. Okay, so here's the thing. I used to confuse drum step with mid tempo, but I now realize mid tempo is kind of just its own thing. Where drum step started as like a cross between drum and bass and dubstep, and kind of mashed together to make drum step. I can't really get behind that. Like there's some modern drum step that sounds more like mid tempo than drum step is supposed to, and there's some drum step that I don't know, just sounds more like glitch hop. Oh, I should have put glitch hop on here, but I count glitch hop as drum step. Basically, this is just drum step for me personally. Just encompasses everything from glitch hop to actual drum step to like mid tempo like bass music, which I'm a humongous Ever and Maxwell fan. Ace Aura and Ever and Maxwell kind of started my love for dubstep. I think it was their collab actually. Battle for Eternity, that was it. Yeah, that song started my entire love for dubstep. Like that collab between Ace Aura and Ever and Maxwell, very long time ago. But that is some drum step that I just genuinely just love. Oh my goodness, it is so good. Most of Ever and Maxwell's stuff is just really good. I'm trying to think. There's like one or two songs of his that just don't really hit for me, but like most of his stuff is just, whoo, just knock it out of the park. Oh my goodness, really good. Um, Also listen to a lot of distortions, which he hasn't been making music as of late, but some of the stuff that he has made is just magnificent. Now most of the time he does like bro step, drum step, and mid tempo, but his mid tempo is so good. It's like it's got a groove, like it sounds like just I don't know what it sounds like. It just sounds really good. I'm gonna put drum step in hits hard. I'm just gonna go ahead and be generous and do that. Um, yeah, here's a little example. Yeah, that's my uh bass music subgenre tier list. That's pretty much it. Um, like as a rhythm kid, nothing really beats rhythm, future rhythm, and like all the others are really good. But like, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Do we want to do tier lists of artists in these specific subgenres? Because I will do that if I get a comment telling me to do so. All it takes is one comment, and I will 100% do that. Um, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, please. I only got one view on my last video in the first 3 weeks that it was out. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm just doing this for funsies. I'm not really looking to do anything serious with this, but just for funsies. All right, that was fun.